Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Dollhouse Build. Today we are going to be building this front section, dry building it. So if you've seen, we've dry built the back and we've started decorating. And this is a separate part, the front part. So today we will be assembling that. And also we can start some painting because my 2-inch roller has arrived as well. So we will get on with that. So if you remember, the colour we're going to be using for the basement area hallway is this mid umber velvet matte heritage. So we're going to be dispensing a little bit and using that. So I'm pretty sure this has become quite familiar now, but as you can see, this is the back part of the basement, and that colour is now on the hallway, that mid-umber. I did think it was going to be a little bit dark, but to be honest, I think when we get the lights in, it will be fine. So we're going to get the top on and then we will start assembling the front part of the basement. Now, if I just take you to the right-hand side, you can see why we left those little areas at the bottom and the top, the little grooves, because they slot in to these top and bottom parts. And obviously you can see that that has just gone perfectly now. And you can see there, it's just slotted in perfectly there. Now this front part of the basement, this is the baseboard and it is huge. This is presumably what will, I guess, butt up to the basement like that, and this will house the courtyard area and then the brick wall pavement. And if I turn you to the side just to see how wide that is, it's actually wider than the rest of the back of the house. So, it makes me think that there's no way this house can go on a table because it's going to be far too wide at the front. I don't particularly want it sitting on the floor either, so it's made me think I'm going to have to think about doing something clever, like maybe putting both parts on some small wheels. I don't know if anybody's done that before. If you have, can you let me know how you've done it? So it looks as though the first job here is to build the small box section at the front. Which is basically the back part of the path, the two sides, and then the roof. So we will get that bit done. Okay, so that's the front part done, and like the rest of the house so far, it's all just slotted together, as you can see. It needs to come down a little bit, but it's just kind of slot and groove. I have noticed, because this front part, I do want this to be bricked all the way around here. For some reason, because of the grooves, it kind of goes in a little bit here and then out of it, and that's going to be a pain to do all the corners for the brick. So I think what I'll probably do there is put some scrap wood, like maybe some balsa or something in there, so it just brings it so it's level, you know, like that basically, just so it's level all the way up and down, and then the bricks will be easy just going around one corner and you don't have all these little sections here to go in and out of. So I think we'll do that with some scrap wood, and then I'm just going to mark on now the outside so I know which areas need to be bricked up. I've just marked up some areas that need bricking, as you can see. I've made a bit of a mess of that one, and paving for what I want on what is going to be, well, the pavement basically. And then I've just drawn this archway because I did mention about having a gate there or an archway. Now the archway would go sort of there, would come out the back there, and then there's some areas here which I'll show, which then go up to the front steps of the house, and that would lead straight all the way under the tunnel to where is going to be the front door there for the bottom of the basement. So let's carry on putting some other pieces together and I'll show you what I mean. So after we've done that, we just need to put these areas in here and the little paving top part there, which then leads on to the front of the house. So we'll get those bits in place. Okay, so that next part has been assembled, and you see how I mean. So this area here obviously is going to be the courtyard. So I want to brick that, brick this part, and the same on the other side. The bit inside there, which would be the tunnel, I don't think I'm going to brick that. I think I'm just going to paint it because you can't see it anyway once this top piece is on. And obviously, as we know, the bricks are quite expensive. So I think we'll probably just brick the parts that you can see. But do you see what I mean about the tunnel there? So if I put a tunnel here and a gate that side, and then I'll have to do one again on here on the underside of there, and then it will just come under the tunnel and then straight into the basement door there, and it just adds a little bit more interest on here rather than having you know, this area is just a long big chunk of brick. There'll just be something a bit more of interest there. So these side parts I've just added on there, and I've just put a note to brick both sides. And then just like I did with the house, I've been all around these areas here and just marked off the lines there, so I know where things slot into place. And the same here where this area goes up to, because I don't want bricks on that end. I want that to just slot on nicely. In fact, it's making me think, because I want this to be a full continuation, I think I'm probably best off filling that and then bricking this area all at once, so that the bricks go straight along all the way seamlessly rather than doing them in each individual part. Yeah, that's something to think about actually. I think that will look better rather than me sort of ending all the bricks there for this piece and then starting them again here if they just went across all completely seamlessly. But obviously I'll have to glue it in place then first before I brick it, so that's something that I just need to have a think about there. Okay, so that's just got the front part put on now, and I can see my idea of having seamless brickwork at this side is not going to work because, yeah, it's not flush to this end. There's a little lip. It actually doesn't sit really flush. There's a little lip all the way along, which means that it will sit like that a little bit further in. So it won't sit completely flush to that side. It will be just in just a tad. So this bit is going to need to be bricked up separately anyway. And just holding these last two pieces together because if I open it, they'll drop apart. But you can see the stairs there. So then it comes along the pavement, up the stairs, and this is the main step then as it goes into the front door of the house, which will obviously be in the house build, which we haven't started. Yeah, said that would happen. So I think that's about it for the main part. It does obviously speak about all the windows and the architrave around these areas, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Like I said, with decoration and parts like that, it's not too much of a big deal. I just want to sort of get the main parts together, find out what I'm bricking, how it all fits together, and then when we start working on the front part of this house, we'll start having a look at it. But any areas that touch it, so for example here again, look, if I'm bricking this part, I do need to make a mark round here, otherwise that's not going to glue properly on there. So any areas like that that touch other areas, just be aware of them and just make sure that they're marked off. Okay, so as you know, this is the cream colour that we're going to be using for the woodwork in the house, this cream white. And I did say that I wanted to go with a cream colour for the kitchen, and then I wanted to paint the cabinets in like a sage colour. And I went to Homebase, and yeah, this is what I came up with. So it is another heritage one. I couldn't find the cream that I wanted, and then when I saw this, it was just perfect. It looks a little bit dark actually on camera, but it's like a nice vanilla, and you can see how that'll contrast nice against that. When I saw that, I also spotted this as well. And this sage green was the perfect colour that I wanted, and you can see how well they are going to look together. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Because we have the smaller roller now, we need to get on with painting the kitchen cream. So we'll get that done. I'm finding out the best way to do the painting is to prime it first, give it a sand with a medium grade sandpaper, because the first paint brings up quite a lot of the grain in MDF. So give it a good sand with that. Put your first coat of paint on, and then very, very lightly sand with a very, very smooth sandpaper. And then put your second coat on, and you tend to get a really nice finish. So that's what I've been tending to do. So we'll get the kitchen parts painted, yeah, we'll get that sorted. So that's all the kitchen panels painted. That's the back wall, the right hand side wall and the left hand side, which leads onto the hallway. So once the kitchen's had the coats of paints and the sanding and that's all done, the hallway is then all done. And it's this back wall on the left hand side that's going to be the cloakroom. Now I do want to paper that, and I have a whole conversation about papering because it's been a bit more tricky than I suspected. So we'll have a talk about that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.